Hello children, this video deals with the continuation of the supplementary on Monday morning which was written by Mark Twain. So now just recall what we saw in last class. On Monday morning, Tom is very happy. The weekend is over and he is still feeling daunted by the prospect of a whole week of sitting still. So he lies in his bed thinking that it would be nice to stay if he feels sick. He tries to convince himself he has a colic, but it does not work. So he feels hopeless about the pain from losing a tooth, but then he realizes that Aunt Polly will pull it out if he complains. Eventually, he remembers that he has a sore toe. This seems likely an excuse, and he begins to wail in pain. And though Monday always being a new school week, Tom always tried a way to avoid his routine. So Tom lies in bed, clutching his toe and howling. He begs Sid not to tell Aunt Polly that he is unwell. This frightens Sid, who fetches Auntie Paul. So now let's continue the story. But I must, don't groan so. Tom, it's awful. How long you been this way? Hush, Arch. Oh, don't stir so. Sid, you'll kill me. Tom, why didn't you wake me sooner? Oh, Tom, don't. It makes my flesh crawl to hear you. What is the matter? I forgive you for everything, Sid. Everything you are ever done to me when I'm gone. Oh, Tom, you aren't dying, are you? Don't, Tom. Oh, don't, maybe. I forgive everybody, Sid. Tell him so, Sid. And Sid, you give my window sash and my cat with one eye to that new girl that's come to town and tell her. But Sid has snatched his clothes and gone. Tom was suffering in reality. Now his imagination was working well, and so his groans had gathered quite a genuine tone. Sid flew downstairs and said, "Oh, Aunt Polly, come, Tom's dying." "Dying?" "Yes, don't wait, come quick." "Rubbish, I don't believe it." But she fled upstairs, nevertheless, with Sid and Mary at her heel. Tom frightens Sid as if he is going to die. Tom is saying that he is going to forgive everyone what they did for him because he is going to die. So what happens? His imagination and his plan is working for not going to school. So what happened? Sid started to frighten. He's telling to Tom that, "Please, Tom, don't go, stay with me." So what happened? Sid, he rushed to Aunt Polly. He's scratching her Aunt Polly and saying that Tom is going to die. Tom is going to die, but her aunt didn't believe. She knows that he is a mischievous boy, so something is happening there. Grew white too and her lip trembled. When she reached the beside, she said, "You, Tom, Tom, what's the matter with you?" "Oh, Aunt, What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you, child?" "Oh, Auntie, my sore toe's dying." The old lady sank down into a chair and laughed a little, then cried a little, then did both together. This made her feel better, and she said, "Tom, what a turn you did give me. Now you shut up that nonsense and climb out of this." The groan stopped, and the pain vanished from the toe. The boy felt a little foolish, and he said, "Aunt Polly, it seemed dying, and it hurt, so I never minded my tooth at all." "Your tooth, indeed. What's the matter with your tooth?" "One of them is loose, and it aches perfectly awful." There, now don't begin that groaning again. Open your mouth. Well, your tooth is loose, but you're not going to die from that. Mary, get me a silk thread and a chunk of fire out of the kitchen. Tom said, "Oh, please, Auntie, don't pull it out. It don't hurt anymore. I wish I may never stir it if it does. Please don't, Auntie. I don't want to stay home from school." This frightens Sid, who fetches Auntie Paul, who comes running to see what is wrong. And Tom complains that, "Oh, Auntie, my sore toes." Mortified, Aunt Polly sees through his act and can't help but laugh. Tom exaggerates his pain and uses the wrong word to do so, making Aunt Polly to laugh. Instead of paining his toe, he said that his tooth is painy. This interaction embodies their affection for one another, and though she would scold him, his ridiculousness entertains her. Tom tells her that his toe really had been hurting even more than his tooth. She declares that the tooth should be removed. Tom is terrified. He started to protest. "No, it doesn't hurt me at all." And then he'll go to school. Aunt Polly proceeded to tie one end of stir on the bedpost. So what happened? Aunt Polly asked Mary to bring a silk thread and a chunk of fire from his kitchen. "Oh, you don't you? So all this row was because you thought you'd get to stay home from school and go fishing. Tom, I love you so. And you seem to try every way you can to break my old heart with your mischief." By this time, the dental instruments were ready. The old lady made one end of the silk thread fast to Tom's tooth with a loop and tied the other end to the bedpost. Then she caught hold of the chunk of fire and suddenly pushed it almost into the boy's face. The tooth was hanging loosely by the bedpost now. So what happens? Aunt Polly, she tied one end of the thread on his bedpost and the other end on his mouth. When she lunges at him with a flaming coal, he jumps away and the string yanks out his tooth. If Tom had simply admitted that he is faking rather than using his tooth as an excuse, he might have avoided the extreme pain of having it pulled. And Polly's effectiveness of removing the tooth show how formidable and capable a woman she is, and Tom is lucky to have her looking after him. Even though Tom was doing such mischievous things on every Monday, even though what happened, his Aunt Polly loves him. So these are the book back exercises. So choose the correct answer. Tom pretended his toe was tying in order to dash to miss school. Second one, Aunt Polly pulled Tom's tooth out with a piece of thread. Third one, Tom was miserable on Monday morning because he hated going to school. So the follow-up work is you have to draw a family tree showing that the members of your family and write a few sentences about the activities that your whole family does together. So how does it help others in a family and what do you learn from this? Okay, thank you.